Hello everyone, it's your boy. It's been a long time since I've made a video. I'm so sorry. I think it's probably been like a year or something. Yeah, I can't apologize enough. Just been a crazy year personally, navigating a few things, and so it's just not been on my priority list to make a video. But at the same time, I know how important these videos are to people out there seeking knowledge and wanting to understand what life looks like after fusion surgeries, particularly in the ankle, because you can take a browse of YouTube and know that there's just not a lot of information out there. So with that being said, I can't exactly remember what the last update was on oh, I remember actually. My last video was a few days or weeks before I had my hardware removal. So, okay, cool. So from my last video, I know you can remember that it was like kind of getting worse. Like, I felt as though I wasn't really recovering or that I was just going backwards. And I couldn't really see the benefits of the fusion like at all. Um, so yeah, I made the decision to get the hardware removed because I just had an inkling that the metal work was giving me problems. Um, and I was originally on a waiting list for that surgery, and I think the timeline was something ridiculous. Like there were 18 people like in front of me to have surgery, but luckily I managed to get a slot because there was like a cancellation in a procedure, so they put me on. Um, so yeah, what I can say was pretty much immediately after having the hardware removed, I felt better. Like I felt so much better. Like I don't even know if it was a psychological thing, but just knowing that I didn't have all those screws and the hardware and the metal in my foot made me feel lighter. And I felt like, okay, now I'm just dealing with bone. And I was able to wait there, I think a day, like the day of the surgery. They were encouraging me to walk around on the crutches, and put pressure on my foot. And really the only like issue with putting pressure on your foot after hardware removal is like the sites at which they cut. So the bottom part of the heel was the only part because the rest were on the side, so it was the side points, and they cut through the same incision points. But yeah, like I said, I felt better like immediately, and my recovery from that surgery was like within 4 days. I'd say I was back to walking normally. um and yeah, pretty much instantly, I realized that I had more range of motion than um, when I had the metal in. So at the top where I had the talonavicular fusion, I had the metal was like impinging on my joints. So let's say, for example, this is my foot, and normally your foot can move that much upwards. So normally you can move it down or you can move it up. So effectively, with the talonavicular fusion, um, like two of the joints in the foot are fused. So as well as losing that motion from as well as losing the side to side motion from the subtalar fusion, I also lost a little bit of this up motion from the talonavicular fusion. So let's say, for argument's sake, a normal foot goes like this, then it goes like that. Effectively, after a talonavicular fusion, the foot's only going to go about like that much up, maybe that much down. So you've lost, like from there to there, you've lost that. But what happened was, with me, because the metal work was causing such an issue, my foot's really quite skinny. My foot was only able to like move like that, and that was causing me such like massive issues. So as soon as I had the metal taken out, I was able to, yeah, go up to that point, which, to be honest, I thought I might get a little bit more range of motion than that after them taking out the hardware, but there's no metal in my foot now, so whatever it is that I can do, I know is literally just based on what the fusion did, what the fusion basically stiffened up. So yeah, pretty much immediately after that, like I was fine. Like I was able to walk. Like I'm able to go on long walks now. I'm able to exercise again. Like I'm pretty much better, and I don't anymore like have the same symptoms that I had before. And like, yeah, like it's great. The only negative I would say, there's a few negatives, is that now I no longer have that pain that I had before. the subtalar talonavicular fusion. So before, it was like standing up for more than 5 minutes at a time, and I would just feel agony um like in my foot, and I just had to like sit down and rest. Now I can spend the whole day walking about. The only issue is that basically I'd say from my knee below, everything is just so tight. um and I think that's a combination of two things. So one, it's like when you've permanently frozen two joints, you've got all these muscles in the leg, all these muscles in the foot that are supposed to be moving are no longer moving. So I think what I'm dealing with is this atrophy in these muscles that are supposed to be moving that are not moving, and the consequence of that is that my foot and my leg is just weaker, and then the consequence of that is that it's putting pressure on the rest of my foot now. So yeah, I've dealt with a lot of like foot fatigue, and just not being able to exercise in the way that I'd like to. I did a run yesterday, but today, like, it's just my foot's so like inflamed, like the bottom of the foot. I feel like if it feels like it could be like plantar fascia. So I feel like now I'm moving away from bone issues, but I'm suffering a lot from like muscular, like ligament based, like inflammation and tension and stress rather than bone related stress, because obviously where the joints are frozen, everything else is kind of like frozen, and then the fact that like my leg is weak anyway is not helping the situation. And I know that I can, that like the consequence of this is that it's just going to get worse and worse, and then eventually I'm just going to develop like chronic plantar fascia pain, or I'll develop like secondary arthritis in the other joints around my foot, because there's just not the kind of like muscular support going on. And then also I've got two less joints, and my other joints are compensating. So there's a lot of like areas of concern and worry for me as a result of having this fusion. And like, if you can avoid it where possible, I would just say avoid it, because it's honestly been such a fucking ordeal. Like, I feel like I've been to hell and back with the double fusion. Like, the amount of like physical and psychological trauma that this surgery has like put me through, like the nerve issues, the nerve damage, and then having secondary surgery to remove all the metalwork, and now kind of effectively lifelong issues basically, based on the fusion. I just wish that I had another option, or that some other options were presented to me, but I just didn't have any other options. And the situation that I was in, I would argue, was worse than the situation I'm in now. um but what I will say is that I think a lot of life after fusion, like if you've identified that metal is the issue, and you remove the metal, and now you have no sort of like material like issues, and it's just kind of muscular, then I think it's all about proactivity and management. So what I've realized is that where I've been failing is like not like, I think it's gonna sound sad to say, but recognizing that you have a fusion of any kind, wherever that is in the body, means having to sit down and accept that you're not going to be like everyone else. Like, you're going to have lifelong implications and challenges as a result of having a fusion. And the sooner you can come to terms with that and accept that, the sooner you can become a bit more proactive in managing it and taking the time out that's necessary. Think of it like someone that's like, I don't know, someone that's got like, it's probably the wrong example to use, but let's say for example somebody's got like issues with their kidneys and they have to go for dialysis. They know that they need to go for dialysis to survive, because they need to have their blood cleaned. I think if you have a fusion, particularly in a part of your body like your foot, then you know that actually you need to do physiotherapy related work, rehab, or see an osteopath or something equivalent, because that's your dialysis equivalent. Because if you don't do that stuff, then you're going to fail. So I've not really been hugely proactive with it, but I've actually created a bit of a routine and a plan. So I'm starting a new job on like this next week, and my idea is to sort of integrate time within the day, every single day, that's fixed and dedicated towards me working on rehabbing and trying to strengthen my leg and ankle. So I'm gonna show you a few of the things that I've started to play around with. And the thing is, again, like, I know that recently I've just been complacent and lazy, and I'm more tired and more in pain. And you just don't want to let it get to the stage that I've let it get to, where you're just being a bit lazy and acting like everything's normal, because it's just not. But yeah, let me just show you some of the things that I've got in terms of what I'm planning to do in order to help my ankle. This is based on me communicating with different health professionals. My sister is an osteopath, so she specializes in this sort of thing. And so I guess the idea or the emphasis that people around me that are saying is that you need to really strengthen up other areas around your foot, like your leg muscles, your calf muscles, your tendons, the rest of the muscles in your foot. And if you strengthen them, it takes some of the pressure and ease off of the rest of the foot. And then also just regular massaging and trying to get in there. But because my foot is so stiff, my leg now is so stiff in terms of the muscles, I feel like no amount of massaging is helping. But let me just quickly show you the stuff that I've got, I'll be using. Okay, so there's a few things here. Okay, I'll just do it one by one. Some of these are budget friendly, some of these are not, they're more expensive, but it depends on what you want to invest into. So this is very simple. This is like a little massage roller. You can pick this up on Amazon for something like £8 or I don't know, $10-15 or something like that, whatever your equivalent is, rupees, I don't know. And effectively what it is you use both hands and it massages different parts of your body. So what I tend to do is use this on my leg. So this is the leg that I had my fusion on. So I'll kind of like rub it like this quite as sort of hard as I can, just to kind of like relax some of the muscles in the leg after a long day. You also can sort of like, I tend to get a lot of pain like here. So I'll kind of do a bit of massaging here just to kind of release some of the pressure that's building on the bottom of the foot. So that's one thing. So yeah, that's number one. Then this is just one of those sort of like elastic bands that you get for training, and this I kind of use to strengthen my foot. So I'll kind of do that and then do different exercises with it. I really got my foot up in the camera, but why not? So yeah, that's pretty cheap as well. This is also not too expensive. So this is a machine that has sort of like clip-ins, and then these are like these gel electromagnetic pads. So what you do is you charge this via USB and you plug these into here like so, and then these sticky pads you stick onto different areas of your body. So I stick them on my calf and on my foot, and then what happens is you turn this on and it has two sides, so you can put them on two different areas of the body. But for the sake of like fusion and the muscles, what it does is it sends electromagnetic currents through the wires onto the gel pads and then onto your skin. And what that does is it causes your muscles to contract. And so if you find that your muscles are particularly weak, such as your calf muscles and things from, I don't know, being in a cast for like 3 months or something like that and having just that severe level of atrophy, then what this does is it works to strengthen those muscles without putting too much pressure on the joints, because most ways that you strengthen your muscles is by load bearing, which can sometimes cause additional issues and problems for people. So this is a good way to sort of strengthen the muscles. I've not been doing it, but I'm going to start doing it now. So hopefully I'll have more better results to update you with. I do want to be more proactive with videos. I've been doing a lot of research on different things to do with health, nutrition, and just trying to improve my overall well-being. So I think that this channel is going to be transitioning into something like that, sort of health and wellness related content. But with that being said, I will use this and then try to have an update, but this isn't too expensive. And the last thing, which is a little bit pricey depending on your budget, but you can actually get cheaper ones nowadays because a lot of people use them. This is a massage gun. So if I I've not opened this one because this is a new one. I'm trying to figure out how to open it. All right, cool. Yeah, so this is like a massage gun. I've not opened this one. Like I said, it's a new one. And what this does is it has different things. And you just use this on your leg, on your foot, or wherever in order to just kind of improve, like muscle aches and just rehabbing the joints and whatnot. And so, yeah, those are some things that you can do. But like I said, you'll have to be proactive. I need to use the toilet now. So let me just pause this video and come back. Sorry. Um, but yeah, like I said, it's all about being proactive with your health and well-being. And, you know, some people just have to be more on top of it than others. And unfortunately, if you have a fusion, you're one of those people that have to just be more on top of things than others. Um, but yeah, I would say my plan is to set aside half an hour every single day to do this sort of rehab work. And then within that half an hour, just sort of like have self-care time, you know? We're so busy in our lives, like running the rat race and trying to make money or stressing about different things. And believe me, there's plenty of things that I could be stressing about. And so just taking that time out to for personal wellness and care, it's like, you know, it's a good thing to do. So yeah, that's my update for everyone and anyone. Um, After yesterday, I tried to do some hit training with running, and I'll be honest with you, whilst I felt great in the moment, like, and you know, I felt like I was alive again, I've realized that it's just not worth the damage or potential damage that I'm causing to my ankle running. So I've just, you know, decided that the best way that I will be able to do cardio is to start swimming regularly. So with my new job, I have a gym that's literally just around the corner. So I plan on going swimming every single morning. And then in the evenings, I'll do like sort of strength training. But yeah, that's kind of my ideal, I guess, if you like, of what I plan to do. Um, yeah, I don't really have much to update you on. I do want to join a martial arts class of some sort. I'm thinking be Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. But again, I need to see how my ankle is going to fare with that. But I'll keep you all updated. In the meantime, if you have any questions, please just drop me a comment and I will endeavor to respond. I'm really busy right now, like between the last year and now, like, or the last time I made a video, I think I mentioned that I moved into a new flat after leaving my family home, which has now been sold. But it's just like life, you know, being an adult. I'm 25 years old, but I'm South Asian, and so 25-year-old boys are still boys. They're not really men. So I had to very quickly, yeah, come into my own flat and adapt and learn to do things myself that I never knew that I had to do, worrying about money, just general life things actually that I'm just navigating, trying to balance along with other responsibilities, hobbies and passions. And yeah, I'm trying to formulate the kind of way that I want to live my life, you know, not be a sheep or get caught up in the ways that other people live and tend to stress, but genuinely find a life of meaning and purpose and sustenance and all that sort of good stuff. But um yeah, like I mentioned, if you have any questions, please drop them through and I will try to get back to you. But yeah, take care of yourself, everyone, and God be with you.